Thing I wanted to see too. Apparently, FaZe Clan is getting exposed for being a pedo PDF files. They're all exposing themselves. Let's see.
Breaking fuck the news. This isn't the typical news that you're gonna expect, but I'm gonna let you guys know because I think this is very useful information. If you guys know anything about the FaZe Clan, FAZE, they need to get hit with a RICO charge. They're all airing each other out for sleeping with minors. I just watched a confession tape of FaZe Temper saying he went to a party and met a 17-year-old that he didn't know was 17 and slept with her. There's another FaZe member who's 32 dating Charlie D'Amelio.
Huh?
Mind you, she's an adult, but she's not that old. They need to slap them niggas with the RICO ASAP.
Huh? Wait, did he say FaZe Temper? Hold on. What the fuck? FaZe Temper.
It wasn't a threesome with two 16-year-olds. Actually, it was a 17-year-old. So all of a sudden now it's 17. Okay.
It's still
one
bad.
was 17 and the other one watched. That's what he said.
So it's safe to say that this unfolded a little bit faster than I expected. I thought I was going to get another day before I had to dive in.
I did. And when we got in the call, Tommy said this verbatim. He said, it wasn't a threesome with two 16-year-olds. Actually, it was a 17-year-old. So all of a sudden now it's 17. Okay. One was 17 and the other one watched.
That's crazy.
That's what he said. And then he started bringing up all these random laws. I don't even know these weird consent laws like Romeo and Juliet.
This is that Nene shit, bro. This is a Nene law.
This yada. I don't fucking know. I don't know what these laws are, bro. And he says some shit like that. And even Banks calls me after and he's like, bro, what the fuck is like up with that law shit that he brought up? So he knows he did some shit that was wrong. He knows that. He knows that. But it's just, I don't like the denying of it. And I feel like in this video, you're trying to paint me like I'm lying and making shit up and just saying shit to say shit when you know that's not the truth, bro. And it's not fair because, you know, people try to hold that 2020 shit over me where I was just I'm trying to off myself. You act like I sit there recreationally getting high. I don't even like weed, bro. I just smoke tobacco. I hit the gym and I stream.
It's not really sounding too good. And the way that the internet works, even without actual proof, just somebody saying this shit is really not a good look. And FaZe Rain has a lot of respect online for being somebody that just tells you the truth. Doesn't care what the consequences are. He's going to tell you exactly how he feels, and he's going to give it to you straight. And I don't know if there's ever been a situation where people can prove that he just lied about some shit. He's burned some bridges, made some people upset, but it seems like everything he says is usually accurate from what he actually knows. So if he had this conversation with FaZe Temper, it's not really a good look. Regardless, he got into a Discord call on a live stream with FaZe Banks, and they were talking about why he didn't rejoin FaZe, and says that Banks knew about this.
The first time I called you about it was at moments when it happened, or right when it happened. And then when you guys didn't necessarily care, and I'm not saying it's because you didn't care that it was wrong. You just didn't know what to do. But listen, when I say, yes, I'm not saying you don't, but I'm saying you guys didn't do anything. And then when we talked about the 5149 thing, I said, and I voted against it. Yes. And I said no. But even when I considered joining back, I said, I'm not going to join the same team as a pedo. And then you said, I don't know what you want me to do. And then I just left. And it's been over ever since. And I get it. You've known Tommy forever. He took you in Boston. I get it.
Damn, so did FaZe Banks say fuck what he did? I'm still going to be homies with him? Nah, FaZe Banks, bro.
When I said that to you, what was your response? What would you want me to do?
I said, I don't want him on the team. I said, I don't want to be on a team with a pedophile. That's literally my words. And then we never even had that group call till I texted it again 2 years later because I was still annoyed about it.
Before I dive further in, I just want to reiterate that this is all he said, she said. I'm not trying to defend Temper. If he did some weird shit, then I feel like he's going to get dragged for doing some weird shit. But at the same time, I don't know any of these people. I know of them from FaZe. I know of them from being online, but I don't know them to just take someone's word and be like, yo, I want to ruin a man's life over it. But I'm going to keep this in mind now, and we're going to see what Temper says because he's got to respond to this. And I mean, at this point, Banks has kind of confirmed that weird shit was said, and he is aware of how Rain felt. So now we just need to know, what is the excuse? What is it that Temper's got to say? I know for a lot of people, they probably don't care to wait for it because 16, 17, like even if she was technically of age, the fact that I think back in New York, he would have been about 21 years old. A lot of people don't really care. They're like, that's just, it's too big of a gap, right?
I realized later in the video that I'm assuming he was around 21, but I don't actually know when this situation happened. From what I can see, nobody gave a timeline, but I did address this later.
So morally, people are still going to make their own judgment. But obviously, if the person was 16, legally we talking about some shit, and I'm assuming this is also somebody that he may have been in contact with. So even if, let's say, she was 17, if there was pictures and that kind of shit sent back and forth federally, that's illegal. It's tricky ground that this man is in right now. And later on in that call, FaZe Banks and Rain go back and forth where he says Tommy admitted it, and there's proof because he basically said that he tried to say it to sound cool.
Me and Tommy haven't been
crazy
on the best terms because of.
Well, how does that make you sound cool, dog? How does that make you sound cool? Yeah, bro, I had a threesome with like 2 16-year-olds, bro. Yeah. No, that's fucking weird.
A lot of FaZe stuff and involvement and shit like that. Another huge part of the reason why I finally just like said, you know what, I'm gonna go my own way. I like his story does not line up with what you're saying.
The only difference in this story, by the way, is what, again, brother, he told me 2 16-year-olds, threesome. And then on the call, he said, if I said it to sound cool. Do you remember him saying that? There's no way. There's no way. That's such a crazy thing to say.
Bahrain, I'm fried, brother. I honestly, like,
Okay, so
bro, stop defending him. You know he said that shit, bro. If you were in the call, come on. You're not gonna forget about what your homie says. What some crazy shit your homie said.
Sounds like something. It sounds like
it's not like
I
remember.
It's so dumb that it sounds like something I could hear Tommy in an unironic way, like saying. Like I don't know. I don't understand how that's cool though. Like that's the part that doesn't like. I don't know.
I don't think it's cool either, bro. And I don't agree with that. But what I'm saying, that's what he said. So insinuating, if he did say, I said it to sound cool, it's what he said. It's what he said. Whether he, for God knows why, he lied to me and said it was a threesome with a 16-year-old when it was a single with a 17 and one was watching. God knows why he lied and said it was a threesome. God knows why.
That's
especially when I'm telling him how demonic and evil that shit is and how I'll never have your back. That's what he said. It's what he fucking said. Okay? So then he goes in the call that we had after with me, you, Apex, Tommy, and he said it was a 17-year-old. He admitted it, bro. He did. And then he said, if this shit ever comes out, bro, I have a kid now, I have a wife, I'll kill myself. And you called me after, you're like, bro, you never talked like that. Please don't do it, bro. I don't want him to kill himself.
I do remember that.
I want to see what Temper has to say, and I was going to wait for his response, but the fact that they went back and forth and talked on a live call, I feel like there's a lot of stuff to already talk about, so we should get this out of the way, and then if Temper responds tomorrow, we can talk about that a little bit more. But Rain does go on to say that Banks knew about it, and Banks defends himself, but I feel like this one, Rain, is kind of overstepping a little bit.
Like, brother, this is a kid who Tommy changed my entire life.
Okay,
like,
so again, that's what I wish you would have just said is like, he changed my life. I can't go against him. I don't know what to do. And that's more respectful.
Not what I'm saying. I'm not saying I can't go against him because that's not true. If I found out that you were a pedophile,
it's basically what you're saying, dog.
I'll touching little kids tomorrow, I would never speak to you again.
And I would want to be publicly executed if that was the thing. Yes, I agree.
I wouldn't associate with you. That's.
But you also knew that, and then you're just kind of saying that now, though. But you did know that, bro. You did. And again, I just wish you could just say, "I did."
When Tommy's response is, "It's not as clear cut as this. He has a little kid. He has a wife, and he's saying he's going to kill himself." That what you're saying isn't true. What you're saying is blown out of proportion. He did something in New York, and technically, age of consent is 17 years old, and he slept with one 17-year-old girl. And
oh my gosh, he's still a minor, bro. Bro, what's up with all these fools saying, yeah, age of consent, bro? I don't care, bro. She's 17. She has the teen in her fucking age. What do you not get from that, dude?
You're saying something totally different. Again,
brother,
I don't
he
know.
told me he had a threesome with 16-year-olds and then says it's a single one 17-year-old one watch. Like, what do you want me to do then?
But Rain, that's not my point. My point is you keep saying I knew something.
So what I mean by overstepping is I feel like he's not considering what Banks is trying to say, because Banks is basically saying, I don't know what happened. I know you told me what he said, and he told me something different. So me being a third party that wasn't involved in this, I just have both of my friends' words, right? And Temper means a lot to me, and you mean a lot to me. And so I can't just pick the one and hate the other person or pick his side. And
Yo, Tejano, which, yeah, exactly. She said, I'm sorry, if you're over a certain age and looking up age of consent laws, something is off with you. Exactly. Because you already know it's wrong if you have to go on the internet to search that up. I guess people don't give a fuck, man. They don't care.
Tell you that you're right. He's like, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I just know that both of you guys gave me different stories. Yours, obviously, sounds horrible. And his kind of defended himself, and maybe I don't agree with it, but it was legal, and da 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 da. And so, he's got a kid and stuff. I'm not trying to further this and ruin his life over something that wasn't that crazy based on how he explained it. Now, based on how Rain explained it, it could be a little bit different, right? And so I get where Banks is coming from. He's just trying to say, like, yo, you're both my friends. You're both giving me different stories. Just because yours is crazier doesn't mean that I should just jump and believe it. So you guys kind of have me in the middle here, where it's like, is there any way that we can prove one way or the other? Like, I get where he's coming from. I feel like that makes perfect sense. Now, one thing that some people did pull up that is a tough one to defend given the situation that's happening and the timeline of it, but there was a tweet that he sent out back in 2012, and based on the tweet that you're seeing on the screen, it doesn't really sound good. Somebody said, "Kid, you hang out with 16-year-old girls. Stop acting like a hard ass, you effing pedophile." And he responded and said, "Mind your own business. What if I like being a pedo?"
Shit.
And that's a wild thing to
Hold on, y'all can't see the end, but yeah, that is fucking wild. So what if I like being a pedo? Wow. That's in 2012. Or 2012. Yeah, that is weird
to say. Now, this was in June of 2012, and based on his age, he was born in 93. I believe he was going to be like 18 or 19 right around this time. So it's not the craziest thing, right? Like if he's 18, he's dating someone who's 16. If he hadn't graduated fully yet, which a lot of people turn 18 while they're a senior, it's like you're dating a sophomore. I mean, again, maybe things are different nowadays. So I'm like,
it's just weird. It's just weird too, just saying like, what if I like being a bit? That's fucking weird.
It's a weird, dark humor type thing because around that time, the internet, especially on Twitter, there was a lot more dark humor that was getting...
I don't think you fucking play around with that, though. Make jokes regarding being a pedo. Ethan Klein. Yeah, I don't think you should be making jokes. I wouldn't call it dark humor, but go off.
Used, and being that he was 18, I don't know. This is one of those things where it's like, this is the shit you don't ever want to tweet. Like, you should never have tweeted this in the first place. Because if this bites you in the ass now and makes all the other shit look worse... It's kind of on you, whether it was true or not. Like it, so I don't know. He's gonna get dragged for this one a little bit. Regardless, Rain did come forward, and this may have been before the conversation with Banks. I'm not completely sure, but he kind of apologized and said that he wishes that he didn't come forward with all this, and that between weed and anxiety, like he kind of just got out of hand, and I kind of feels bad because he didn't want to ruin his life.
Bro, I'm sorry. This shit is just so hard. Like, I genuinely can't believe I did it. I swear to God, I genuinely can't believe I even said it yesterday. Like, as soon as I had a realization last night. Like, maybe the reason I even smoke weed super late at night is to just deal with this shit. Because as soon as I did, I felt miserable. I had so much anxiety. It's like, it's not leaving my...
Wait, so now he's regretting calling out FaZe Temper? Buddy, why, man? Why? We don't need weird people like this out here, bro. Don't feel bad.
I have so much anxiety. It's like, I feel so fucking bad, bro. And no, I'm not seeing red. It has nothing to do with seeing red. I just feel bad. I deadass feel bad. He has a kid, bro. He has a family. I don't want to ruin that shit. Breaks my fucking heart. And bro, when I told Banks about it, he said, "Nah, bro, that's just some Tommy shit. I don't think it's a big deal." Because it was over the phone where it's like gone, right? I'm not recording phone calls. I don't record phone calls. Actually, I did with Lee Trink one time because he's a fucking rat. But one time I recorded a phone call. I don't record phone calls or do no weird shit like that, right? He said that. He said that's just some Tommy shit and didn't think it was a big deal.
And I can understand where he's coming from. It's somebody that you changed your lives together and created FaZe. And so to throw this man under the bus and see his life ruined, he's got a family, a kid, especially if it's more in line with what he said. And maybe for some reason, Rain is misremembering it. I don't know that he is. I'm not saying he is, but it's one of those things where you do consider that. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Up until this point in the video, I've been assuming that Temperrr was like 20, 21 years old. They were back in the FaZe New York house because I think that was the timeline at the age that he would have been. But I really don't know. Have they confirmed what age he was when any of this happened? Because now that I think about it, he said that he found out about this a few years back, right? I'm pretty sure that's what Rain said. And so if that's the case, was Temperrr reliving some memories from back in the New York house when he was that age? And so that's why he feels some time, or was he saying now at the age he is today that he was in New York and slept with two 16-year-olds, or is it because that's a big difference? That changes a lot of things. Like, I'm not saying it was okay before, but if he's now, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I have to do this in the moment. He was born in 93. So you figure 10, 20, 30, so he's like 32 years old. So that's a game changer of difference. And that would mean that he was probably with his wife or with his girlfriend. So these are things that we need to know when it comes to like trying to figure this whole situation out. So let me know what you guys think. I'm just kind of following this as I go. Maybe not always.
All right, thank you, bro. Thank you. Huge shout out to Dwayne TV. Dwayne, here's his channel if y'all wanna go watch his, support his videos. Shout out. I do want to see FaZe Temper finally tells his side of the story. Hold on. Let's see what FaZe Temper said. About to heat up in frijoladas. Ooh, I haven't had those in a minute, bro. Let's see. FaZe Temp. FaZe Temper dropped a 4-minute apology video after accusing Temper of being a PDF.
Which is Tommy's wife and his the mother of his child, and she was so cool, so rational, so understanding. She was just, you know, pouring her heart out to me, venting and talking about how this has affected her life, you know. And that's what a lot of people tend to forget, is how much these things affect people's real lives. I know it's just Twitter to you guys, you're just weighing in on opinion. You type some shit, you move on, you type some other shit on a different thing, but it really does affect these people's lives, bro, especially when it's something this sensitive, you know. So please keep that in mind. But I do want to say this. I want to first and foremost retract the statement that I called him a pedophile, because that wasn't fair to do. By the way, I wiped my fucking camera. I don't know what the fuck is still happening. Okay? I wiped my fucking camera. I don't know what's happening. But it's not fair to label somebody as a pedophile, especially when they supposedly did not know this girl's age. I've known Tommy for 15 years. It's not like he ever went around preying on young girls or...
What do you mean he didn't know her age? He literally told you. She was 16. And then he changed it to 17 to make him, I don't know, to make it sound better. He knew her age, bro.
Telling me he likes young girls or any of these things. So that's why I was such a shock when he told me what he told me. He just never told me that he didn't know their ages. If he did, it'd be a whole different story. It'd be a whole different story if he didn't know.
Bro, how are you believing him that he did not know? He literally told you she was 16 and then changed it to 17, dog.
Know their ages, right? And I never would have felt as deep about it as I did. And I never would have wanted him to step down in 2023 if he didn't know their ages. I thought he did know their ages. And then even when we talked about it after, he didn't say he didn't know their ages. And I don't know why. Sometimes, and also I've known him, and then also with Emma bringing it up, he just sometimes sells the fucking bag. He just sells the bag when it comes to delivering all the right information. You know what I mean? He doesn't say it all the right way. You know, maybe he was frantic and just didn't know what to say or do, so he just withheld that information, which I don't think he realized would have not made me look at him in that light if he was truly ignorant to the fact that they were under 18. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he knew that, it would be a whole different story. If I knew that, it would be a whole different story. So I do apologize for that. I do want to retract that label, because that label is so evil. We all agree there's no room for pedophiles in our world. But there is room for somebody that had no fucking idea, and they were latching from a girl who snuck into a club that was 21 plus and got with a guy who was older, not known. You know what I'm saying? But I also don't know how hookup culture works. I don't know if you guys, every time you guys hook up with a girl at a club, you fucking check their ID. I don't know. I don't drink alcohol. Never hooked up with a drunk chick that wasn't my girlfriend, so I don't know. Okay? I have no idea how that shit works. I don't know what the customs are. So
I can't believe he's backtracking, bro.
So that's a whole different conversation, but I do want to apologize for that. I will take full accountability. If you guys want to project blame on anybody, you can, of course, put it on me. I'm totally cool with that. I always am. It does not affect my life. It's cool. I'm a strong guy. I can figure it out. It's cool. But I do feel so fucking horrible for that. And not for myself. When I tweeted saying I feel horrible, it was not for myself. It's for everybody involved. Obviously, like, people try to act like I'm trying to make it about myself. So I'm going to take a couple seconds to talk about that. Brother, I do not want this fucking game. I have slept a total of like 6 hours in the last 2 days. I've eaten nothing for the last 2 days. Nothing. This is not easy on me in any way, shape, or form. I'm not sitting here happy as fuck about... This sucks, bro. This fucking sucks, okay? It's not what I want to fucking hear. It's not what I want to fucking deal with. And yeah, I brought it to the internet, but I didn't know what to do, bro. And I'm hearing every opinion. Some people are applauding me for bringing it up. Some people are saying, why'd you wait 2 years to bring it up? And then some people are saying I'm a fucking L friend for bringing it up. Like I told you guys yesterday, I had 3 rules.
L friend.
I believed he broke one of those rules. But if he was ignorant to that, of course he didn't break that rule, because he had no fucking idea. And again, he does not go preying on young women. So to even call him a pedophile to that degree is not fair. Does it stem from what I initially said? Yeah. But honestly, The first day I even brought it up and I didn't say who it was, I deleted everything from that stream. I was going to dodge stream for 2 weeks. I swear to God, you can be mad at me for that if you want. I was going to dodge stream for like 2 weeks and not go live. Because I just felt so fucking bad, bro. I just felt so fucking bad. Then I woke up. Feared Buck posted a tweet about it. Banks made a statement about it, essentially confirmed that it was Temperrr who I was talking about. And then my fucking hand was forced and I had to. But again.
So Banks is the one that fucking ratted Temperrr out, bro. Ray didn't say no names. Banks was the one that said, yeah, it was Temperrr, dude.
It's my fault that happened. I can't even blame.
So y'all should be mad at fucking Banks for saying his name. The people that are saying Elfriend to fucking Rain.
Fear Buck for that because he wouldn't have had a tweet if I never said nothing, right? So it's my fault. But it just sucks, man. It just truly sucks. I really truly thought I was doing something good, but then I thought I'd get this weight off my chest. Instead, I added a fucking 500-pound vest.
There
So
it is.
it is what it is. I'm sorry to every single person involved. I hope you guys can realize how much this affects people's real lives. Just please, if you still want to just get your little internet troll out, just get it out on me, bro. I promise I can take it. I fucking love you guys. Anybody that had my back, even Tommy's back, whoever, just like anybody that's trying to preach love and preach positivity throughout all this, you're a fucking real one, bro. You're exactly what this.
All right, dude. Yeah, I agree. Normalize holding friends accountable 100%. 100%. But has Temperrr said anything right now? Or recently? FaZe Clan. Let's see what this. FaZe Clan. FaZe Clan has removed co-founder Temperrr following an admission to accusations of inappropriate behavior. Temperrr responded, I was just cut off the roster today. No conversation. Nothing from the people I stood beside for over a decade. Interesting. Hold on. I really do want to know what fucking Temperrr said, dude.
Designing the logo, doing all this, right? Like bringing all these people in from the ground up, designing the logo, doing all this, right? Like bringing all these people in, like it's insane. I've been getting paid a salary from FaZe and it got terminated yesterday. My health benefits were terminated yesterday. So now if my kid has to go to, and keep in mind too, I had to liquidate all my assets. I had to liquidate everything that I had to pay off taxes.
Fuck. Oh, shit. Fuck around and find out, no?
From the ground up, designing the logo, doing the fact that I'm even having to respond to this and to that my name is in the same breath as the word pedophile is so sick, twisted, and insane. This is disgusting. Anybody that knows me knows I'm not that type of person. I am the furthest thing from what you called me. And I will never be that person. It's so mind-blowing that someone that I really built a brotherhood with, someone that I really considered a brother, that I invited to my baby shower, that I always
damn, not the baby, not the fucking baby shower, dog. No.
And took care. And then when you were going through your darkest days, I was there for you and I was making sure that you were good. When you were in a wheelchair for 2 years and like I was so gutted at the fact that like you couldn't walk again. And then all of a sudden you were able to walk again. And I was the happiest person in the room. There wasn't a single soul that was happier for you than me. Brother, I have known you since you were 14 years old, talking to me about when you were suicidal in these Skype chats, and I was there for you then. And I've been there for you this whole time. You talked about how I rated you the other day, even though when you first brought this up a year ago, and I believe that you brought it up just for money purposes, that you wanted money out of FaZe. Like you stated that a year ago in the conversation with me, Banks and Apex. You stated if you don't get paid that, you're going to air this out.
Oh, shit.
That is blackmail. This is not like, you know who I am. You know the type of person I am. I am not what you called me. I'm fucking gutted, bro. And I'm pissed that you even put my name in that light because now all I care about is my family, bro. Like my biggest concern is my family, my wife and my kid. Now my kid has to grow up and see this, then see that his father is in the same, that my name is in the same light as what you just called me. It's fucking sick. When I bring my son to school, right, and the other parents get to figure out who his dad is, and now they're associating me with that word. You don't even understand the levels of damage that you just inflicted into my life, into my family's life, into everything that I built. I had put.
Yeah, I really want to know when this took place, though. Like, speak about the whole thing. Why were you bragging about saying you were sleeping with two 16-year-olds, and then you changed your mind that it was only one, she was 17, and the other one was just watching? Talk about it, bruh.
My heart and my soul into FaZe Clan in ways that you and Banks and Apex know more than anybody. I brought you guys on because you guys deserved it, and I felt like
so it's not true, or I don't know, dude. We're still trying to figure this shit out, man.
You deserved it, and I broke bread with you completely. Split the company with you, and made sure that you were good. And even at times where like you were trashing the company, I still stood out for you, and I still said he should still get paid, and I was looking out for you, you know. And I wanted you, and even throughout all this stuff, like in a way, I wanted you back in, even though you said this. And that just goes to show you my heart. You know, I'm disgusted by your actions, by the person you've become. You haven't always been this way. You're a really nice kid. I don't know what happened. What got.
Damn. So is he not going to address it then?
My private life is being aired out for public entertainment, and I'm being forced into an impossible situation. So
wait. Someone says, so are we kids at the age of 28? This happens. No, wait, hold on. I thought Rain said he was 22 when it happened. Wait, what happened? He was 28. How old is bro? 32 right now. Fuck, hold on. Fuck.
Now, one day my children are going to see this video. And
bro, there's no way, dude.
They're going to know about...
He was 22?
You know, sexual experiences and the type of person that I was before I met their mother. And let's just start at the top. So a lot of what Norton was saying of the type of person that I was is true. Not all of it. I was a reckless kid. I was very misguided. I was in and out of relationships. And I didn't know any better, right? And so one day I met Emma, and Emma was the love of my life. Like this, I fell in love with this girl, and I wanted to marry this girl, and I never had wanted to marry anybody before that. I never wanted to get married, and I was just blown away. So this is the girl that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with, but because of all the baggage that I had and all the shit that I went through and just the person that I was, I pushed her away. You know, she did not want to be with me, and she ended things, and that broke me and sent me into a dark, dark place. Soon after that, I was just that lost soul again, going to parties, partying, and just being a fool. And then one day I go to New York, and I go to this club that's 21 plus, and I link up with a buddy there.
Okay, so New York, I believe this was, probably 10 years ago, maybe? So maybe 22, 23?
And he invites a couple girls.
I'm saying 22, 23. He was, 10 years ago, probably was 22 or 23.
And I end up going back with these girls. We're all shit-faced, and I end up going back with these girls to my hotel room. I slept with one of them, and I found out after that this girl was 17. And that's the age of consent in New York.
Oh my God, don't bring up the age of consent. Trying to make this shit better, bro. Don't. Stop.
Regardless, I was sick to my stomach. It was just extremely uncomfortable knowing that and thinking about the situation. And that was it. And so shortly after that, or however long after that, Emma and I got back together, and I was fully working on myself and becoming a better man and doing what I have to do to heal myself and heal like all the trauma that I had, and just work on myself on being a better man. And You know, not too long after that, I proposed. And a few months later, we found out she's pregnant. And now I realize I have a child on the way. So I have to put my self-growth in overdrive because my child does not deserve to live a life where he picks up the bad habits that I had growing up. And so the last few years of my life have been on super fixated on just becoming a better man, husband, and father. That's been my number one focus, and it's something that I needed for myself. And you know, I wish that I started earlier. I wish that I didn't put the love.
I mean, can we play devil's advocate with this? Because she was at a 21. I'm reading a comment right here. Hold on. You guys missed the point. He's saying she lied about her age. How else would Shorty get into a 21 plus club? I mean, yeah, dude. I mean, you're playing devil's advocate. I don't know. You're already assuming, right? He was already assuming she was 21 and over. But he said it was cool. Yeah, and the reason why I don't fucking believe him he was sick to his stomach was because he went to his friend and said, "Yo, bro, I slept with two 16-year-olds, dog." And then the next day, never mind, she was actually 17. The other one was watching. That's why, like, I don't fucking believe him because he bragged about the whole shit, dude. So yeah, I mean, it's crazy.
My life through all the things that I put her through, and you know, and then that was it. And so this allegation of me being called a pedophile is fucking insane. Anybody that knows me knows I am not a pedophile or even anything close to that, including Norden himself. So I just, this is something that is going to follow me around forever. And it's just sick because people on the internet will take things and twist it into something that it isn't and just keep running with it. And now I just have to deal with the repercussions, you know? And so that's the unfortunate part about this reality. But that's it. I mean, there was nothing else to it than that.
Yeah, man. I think I'd kind of believe you if you didn't go to your friends and bragged about it. That just makes it where I'm like, I don't nah, bro. A little weird bragging about that situation or a situation like this, but go off on yourself.